Unknown to most, in 2015, Kathryn Hust was diagnosed with breast cancer and has struggled with the disease ever since. This year, as Bald for Bucks approaches, she has not only decided to share this with the school, but has artistically depicted her story.
Because I am a long-term thriver, I would say, I realized this year as I started a new treatment at the beginning of the school year, I had a lot of fear about losing my hair again. It's not that fun to lose your hair. And I saw these wigs that were made out of paper, and I wanted to make one for myself. So I chose a kind of a beehive, just kind of like a swarming, larger than life hairstyle, and I made it out of my medical bracelets. So each one of these tags represents hours that I have been at an office, usually after school. And to get one or two, like if you go to a hospital stay, like that's kind of significant. Like they band you with your birthday, you say your name and your birthday over and over and over, and they verify everything, they check everything. And so this is really kind of an identity piece. Not that I want cancer to be my identity, but it is a part of me, and it is a part of my story.
Through her artwork, Kathryn Hust empowers her community and shares an important message about identity and circumstance. Everybody has a story, but she shows that some may not be outwardly visible.
I think it unmasks some of the perceptions that we have of what somebody who's struggling with cancer looks like. You know, she has all of her hair, you know, and I think the first thing you think of is the loss of their hair, you know, and she doesn't. And so it makes me think of what have other people struggled with and are currently struggling with, but we don't know.
I view cancer sometimes as a iceberg experience, and so people respond to baldness with empathy and sympathy, but they don't always realize that it's almost a relief for cancer patients, because then everybody can see how unwell or how hard or how tiring the stuff below the surface is. And I realized that when I think about showing up and coming to work each day, in spite of having a disease and diagnosis, there's a lot of students here at Rampart that have something that is going on that is like that mass that is below the surface of the water. And they don't get the empathy that we always get for cancer patients. And so it really just impressed on me to share my story, to know that you're more than your circumstance, and that you can still show up and you can work through the hard of every day, and you can still participate and you can still have great moments, even though there's difficulty below the surface.
I think a lot of times we see cancer and we don't see the Miss Hust side of it, where she's coming to work, she's smiling, she's, you know, enjoying her time and enjoying life and things like that. And so I think it's also really important for kids and adults to be able to see that cancer isn't a death sentence, and that you can absolutely still live.
I may have a diagnosis, but I am not a diagnosis, and I am healthy, and I am happy, and I am so thankful that I get to be part of this community.
Kathryn Hust shares her diagnosis to empower others and their own stories that may lie just under the surface. Community empowerment and connection is deeply important, especially as Bald for Bucks approaches, where everyone comes together to support one another in the fight against cancer. This has been Kaitlyn O'Keeffe, reporting for KRAM.